The Star Wars franchise seems to be very expansive, not just with the 2 live-action TV series and the Clone Wars Season 7, but we also have a new Star Wars trilogy on the way by the creators of Game of Thrones, David Benioff and D.B. Weiss. This is Mike Zero. If you guys are new to the channel, do make sure to subscribe to see future Star Wars content. Now, one thing that a lot of people are very interested in is, of course, this 4th Star Wars trilogy by the creators of Game of Thrones that will actually be Disney and Lucasfilm's priority after Star Wars Episode 9, and a lot of people have been wondering about what's going on with these set of Star Wars films that they will be creating in the near future. Now, we do know that it's going to be catered to the hardcore fans, and will be more adult-esque within the Star Wars franchise, which honestly I think is great. Even Emilia Clarke, who plays Kira in Solo: A Star Wars Story, has said before in the past that these set of Star Wars movies are going to be like Star Wars on acid. So you can only imagine what's to really come in these set of Star Wars movies. Now, what's really intriguing is that they plan to shoot the new Star Wars trilogy as soon as early 2020, within the months of January and February of next year, which gives us a bit of an idea of exactly when they're going to start writing these Star Wars movies to come in the near future. Now, we do know that they actually are going to be delaying the process of writing the script by, let's say, a month or 2. It's not going to be anything significant. So they're probably going to start writing this thing in spring or summer of this year, and they'll be done by fall or late fall of 2019, and then that's when they will begin shooting this thing in early 2020, January or February of next year. So what's really exciting to me, and what I'm really looking forward to seeing in these new Star Wars movies, is I'm really hoping, and I'm crossing my fingers constantly, that this is going to be the Old Republic era. Now, I know a lot of you guys out there may not be familiar with the Old Republic. It's a very interesting timeline in the Star Wars franchise where you can explore different characters like different Sith and Jedi. One of my favorite characters out there, of course, is Darth Revan. I love the character. In fact, if you look at Kylo Ren, he's basically based on the character of Revan, if you look very close at the helmet and the hood and everything. Now, not only that, you know, we actually learned this a couple of days ago. What's really interesting is that these set of Star Wars films are actually all going to be figured out from the very start. You know, there's going to be no, like, you know, kind of like bouncing back and forth between different directors and whatnot and figuring out what movie is going to be about what. So everything, the whole entire trilogy, is going to be all written and done before the actual directors step on board and start making these movies. And that's another thing, you know, these directors that will be actually coming on board to direct these films are going to be A-list directors. They are going to be legendary directors. I'm talking legends like James Cameron, Christopher Nolan, Steven Spielberg. Guys like that will be involved with this 4th Star Wars trilogy, which I think is something to truly look forward to. And not only that, they're going to be using a lot of next generation technology when it comes to motion capture suits, CGI, and even other forms of computer generated content. So I think that what's to come in this new trilogy is not only kind of stepping up their game by Disney and Lucasfilm when it comes to tech and story ideas and where this new Star Wars franchise is going after the events of Episode 9, but I think it's also a great opportunity to explore the other parts of the mythology of the Star Wars universe. Now, we do know that Bob Iger has said before in the past that this is going to be based within the Star Wars mythology. Now, additionally, aside from all of that, this new trilogy will also explore a known timeline within the Star Wars Legends/EU material, and that a lot of characters from the EU and Legends material will be inserted into these set of Star Wars films, which honestly I think are huge clues that they are going to introduce the Old Republic to a lot of casual fans and hardcore fans alike out there. Again, like I say, you know, it really does fit the profile for the creators of Game of Thrones. They really know what they're doing when it comes to Star Wars films like this. If you look at their work in Game of Thrones, it's all medieval, right? And if you look at Old Republic, it's pretty much Star Wars medieval times. If you really do examine it very carefully, you will see a lot of parallels to, you know, what we see in medieval movies like castles and knights and all these big, massive battles like the Jedi versus the Sith. I love it. It's great. It's fantastic. And what they're trying to set up With Rian Johnson's trilogy, I have no idea what's happening with that. We haven't heard anything about his trilogy for months now, and I'm really starting to believe that they might have actually put that on the back burner, and they're only focusing on this trilogy by the creators of Game of Thrones for now. And then if they want to actually hit up Rian Johnson and say, hey, you know what, we are ready for you to start writing, we are ready for you to start directing, let's get you on board. But I personally don't know if they're going to actually bring Rian back into the equation here. It's a very big mystery as of right now. But anyways, guys, drop a comment below. Let me know what you think about all of this in the comments. And if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.